tell you about something. I had a friend a few years ago who had a real big car. And you know how at bars and restaurants and things, they have those big tanks that hold the carbon dioxide for drinks and stuff, you know? You can have to sell that. He got one of those big carbon dioxide tanks, and he filled it with water, and then he attached it to the underside of his car, and then he attached a pipe to the tank, and then he would let the water flow out the pipe, because he attached the pipe next to the exhaust pipe of his car, you know? And so he'd let the water pour out while he's driving, and then he'd go around saying his car was crying. And one day, he was looking to refill the tank. And I guess he was in front of two spouts. One of them was for lake water that was unfiltered, you know, and the other one was for the treated water for drinking. And I guess he must have turned the valve for the wrong spout, because what I was told was that he got a bunch of lake water, and apparently there were a bunch of little fish in the lake. And a bunch of little fish got in the tank. And then he was driving around, and the tank was jostling while the car was driving, you know. And then the fish were all shaking around, and they got turned into mush. And they were chunked. So we had a big tank of chum. He was driving, and the chum was spilling out the back of the pipe at the back, you know? And the cop saw it. There were a bunch of birds flying around. And the cop, he was at a stoplight, my friend, and the cop drove up next to him, and he said, "Son, you always got so many birds following your car." And my friend said, "What?" And the cop said, "Son, you got birds?" And he said, "No." And then the cop drove away. And then my friend got in a car crash and died.
Oh.
And he never saw the trunk. But the crash was into the lake. And that's how he died. And then the tank, you know, burst open, and then the chum was released back into the water. So the fish were free, but they were free as chum. And he was also free, but he wasn't a fish, but he also was chum. So nobody really won, I think. Everyone sort of lost, but they were sort of having lessened losses, because the fish were losing, they were chum, but they were back in the lake, so they were chumming the lake instead of chumming a tank. You know? So maybe that ain't such a bad loss as it might have been otherwise. I don't know what caused the crash. That happened, and I ain't sure what caused it. What had happened? And I know that the cop was talking to him at the stoplight because the cop was the one who found him crashed into the lake. And I was walking past coincidentally, and I said, "Why is there a car in the water?" And he said, "Oh, some guy crashed." And I said, "Who?" And he said, "I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell you, because I ain't sure what business they're allowed to be talking about." And then I read the newspaper later, and then it said the name, and it was my friend. I've sort of collected the information post hoc. I wasn't there when all this happened. It's a sort of post hoc telling of events. Or at least the... Okay. Well, anyway,